Hi, we're at the Inner Center, or Inner Care.
Yeah, Inner Care Center.
Inner Care Center. Obviously, I don't come here often enough.
Yeah,
this is for the International Boat Show. This is actually the first day. It's Friday. So it's pretty quiet, and we're going to go buy some tickets. Let's go inside. We just had a coffee.
What's that?
We just had a coffee.
Yeah, to what? Stay warm?
Because we're a little bit early.
Yeah.
So, after finding out that it didn't open until 1 p.m. that day, because it was the opening day for press and media, we came back after we went for a coffee for the real start, which was actually 2 hours later. Duh. The tickets were also double in price, but hey, no crowds whatsoever, and as you'll see, it gave us the opportunity to get into some special demos at the water arena. Although a lot of the focus of this show is more about inland Great Lakes boating, which is primarily for smaller sail and motorboats, we came here on a mission to look at things we needed to consider for our catamaran, the first of which is an electric drive for our dinghy, potentially. Here I am talking about the Mercury Evader electric outboard, which we covered in a previous episode. So let's move along and look at other things we wanted to consider.
The Toronto International Boat Show is apparently the largest indoor boat show in North America. At least at this time of the year, it seems, since no one wants to be outside and there is no boating whatsoever in Canada at this time of the year. And at least it keeps people dreaming of the summer, and in our case, it gives us a chance to focus on things we need to consider for our catamaran, which will hopefully be ready later this year. It was neat to see that there was more focus on sustainable electric drive, so we wanted to head over to the water arena to see what new products were being announced and demoed at the show. As we head over there, we wanted to list some of the vendors we wanted to stop by to investigate. This included companies that were offering aids to navigation like night vision equipment, insurance brokers to start arranging insurance for our boat when it's ready, marine paint companies who may be able to help us find Monty's right shade of orange, and other water toys and equipment that we may want to consider.
When we got into the demo area, we found that they'd created a small lake by filling in the hockey rink with a liner to hold water and a composite dock around the border. As we arrived, they were practicing for an indoor wakeboarding competition, so we stood on the dock to watch.
This does look very different from what it is, because we've actually bounced this to the stands. Usually at the end of these things, there's a really different one here. There's a system that these guys will be judged on. Leave it under. That way, if you hear 20 different how many people here see a reality TV show?
Can you do that?
In my dreams.
What of us here do? Anyone?
So I'm told it's only about a meter deep.
You were saying?
So it's only about a meter deep, which is about 3 feet. So you definitely want to land feet down.
And here we're coming up on, once again, the Mercury Evader that we saw earlier, that I also have a full episode on. So what's cool was that they were giving rides in these products. You could actually see them perform within the pool, as well as see how quiet they were while they were running underway. So pretty neat demonstration. This particular product, the Jet Surf, was interesting. It wasn't electric, but I believe they're There are electric versions on the market nowadays, a little bit different from the foiling boards, but certainly for those of you who want more of a surfing experience instead of a foiling experience, it looks like a pretty fun option, and we got a pretty good demonstration of that. Yeah, it's probably closer to windsurfing. Anyway, the next product is this electric PWC from Tega. Now, we've seen it at the show before, but this was the first time we've actually seen it running. And what's interesting is that it's very quiet, being electric drive when it's coasting or neutral. But when it gets going, it sounds a little bit like a normal PWC, as that wind up of the motor or the jet drive does make quite a lot of noise. Still quieter than the gas version, but as you can see here, it doesn't produce any fumes and definitely doesn't make as much noise as the gas versions. Pretty expensive though. I think somewhere between 45 and 50,000 Canadian dollars for this PWC. So that's the cost of electric drive nowadays. Quite a bit more expensive. The next product, pretty interesting. It's a Danish company called Rand, and they make both gas and electric boats in this format that you see. This one, I believe, is called the Mana. It's a 23-foot electric version of their lineup, and very quiet, as you can see here. And then also, this particular model is designed for cruising, so I believe that the electric drive version only goes about 10 knots. I think it's under 100,000 euros for the electric version. But they do have more sports-oriented versions that can pull wakeboards and so forth.
So this is Tristan from Flightboard, and I've been telling Tristan how badly I want one of these things for a Kinetic 54. So we're just chatting about maybe trying it out during the summer at the cottage before we buy, and making sure I get the right one with the right size wing and the right material. And
yeah,
all
and
that
we can have that all dialed in for you.
Okay, so you have all the different options for the mast and all that sizes?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
We got it all.
All right.
The sky's the limit.
All right,
we'll
man.
get you there.
Okay.
Take flight.
All right, man. Thanks, Tristan.
Thank you.
All right.
Because where you're positioned already.
Okay, so we're here with Ryan, and we're talking to Ryan about some aids to navigation, specifically night vision, a little bit different from FLIR. Maybe if you could just give me a quick rundown again of what we just talked about, the differences.
So aid to navigation based on, gives you the ability to see in the night, right? So it uses a CMOS sensor, which captures the ambient light and illuminates the screen in front of you. So it can, like you see here, they're going under a bridge where it's pretty poorly lit in the night. You can see that they, with the naked eye, you're not really seeing exactly what's in front of you. So it's really there to really help you, see what's off the nose.
Well, right off the bat, you know what? I was looking at the price list there, and it looks like there's a significant price difference between the FLIR system and this one.
Yeah, I mean, FLIRs are gyroscopic stabilized and thermal, but I mean, there are very good cameras as well, right?
That's good. Well, definitely an alternative to some of the other options we have out there. And I hadn't actually decided on whether or not I wanted to put a FLIR system on a boat or not. So I'm just kind of exploring.
And I mean, again, a FLIR system is a great system, but they actually complement each other nicely.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe I'll have one on each side of the spreader.
There's another guy down the way here that the Ray Marine booth is where all the FLIR guys are.
Oh yeah, I'll
so
make
definitely
my way
talk
down
to
there.
Mark down there, and we're Ray Marine distributor too, so I sell Garmin, Ray Marine, Ferrano.
That's cool. Yeah.
And I think they might be working on some better night vision for FLIR too. So.
Yeah, I mean that's what I've heard. Like it's good for thermal, but not so good for some of the night vision applications and things like that.
I remember him telling me last year that he was. He's like, I'm not quite sure how these guys do this. I mean, this is all military technology that's made its way into the consumer market. They've got handhelds as well, but I mean, ultimately, you don't really want a handheld when you're on the boat. You want something fixed that you're turning on and you know it's going to work when you need it. Right?
Exactly. Well, that's great. Well, thanks for taking the time. Looks like Alina's doing a little shopping. Sailing gloves. Okay, so this is Ted from Axel Nobel.
Ted with an N.
Yes, Ted with an N. Ned, yeah, sorry. Yeah, anyways, sorry about that. So we're just talking to Ned, and what we're trying to do is get an idea of the color that we've selected for our build, Sphyrna, and of course the art's going to be used in all grip paint, and so I was just trying to get a sense of how we could get as close as possible to that lava orange that we're looking for on our boat. And we're just discussing some of the complexities and problems when you scratch a boat, right?
Which will happen, by the way, right?
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
shit happens, right? So, yeah. So that's good to at least get an idea and to talk to the paint people about the pros and cons, and of course, see what's involved with getting that exact color. Okay.
Something that they could give you, you know.
Yeah, I could walk into the McLaren dealership up in Woodbridge.
And then you could send that to us,
Yeah.
and we can match it.
Okay.
Is there
Now-
any proprietary stuff in their color with the McLaren color, or no?
Well, they probably use Axel Nobel paints. So Axel Nobel,
Yeah.
So
produce all
there's
grip.
proprietary on the formulas, but no one owns a color per se.
So it's proprietary on the formula. That's what I'm saying, that particular color that they have on the car, that mix that they have, it's their own, and they may not give it to you so that you can replicate it 100%.
If that
Right.
paint is Axel Nobel paint, we already own it,
Yeah.
so there's no problem there. If we don't own it, let's just say it's DuPont or Axalta
Yeah.
or one of the other automotive paint companies, we can copy that color.
Yeah.
You can figure out the combination to get that.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
yeah,
what
so
I'm.
I can actually get that McLaren
Okay.
lava orange color that I'm
There you go.
Now I want to tell you though that metallic pearl, that's what we call a 3-coat. The color and the metallic go down in the base, and then there's a mid coat, which is the pearl, and that all has to be clear coated over the top of that. That's a very challenging way to paint. And I'm not discouraging you. I just want, trying to be open about it. When you do have to come across repairs and things like that, extremely difficult, and in some cases, depending where you are, impossible to do a repair that's invisible.
Yeah. No, I got it. I guess that's kind of the risk I take. How about just a metallic without the pearl? Is that?
That's less challenging, but still challenging.
Yeah.
So to give you an idea, metallics, if we took that same color that was only a metallic, or any color that's a metallic, and you gave it to 4 different painters, the same paint, same cup, everything, and they set up their own equipment and their own booth and everything, they can make it look extremely different based on how it applies and cures on that surface.
Humidity as well. And all that.
Pardon me?
Humidity as well.
Humidity is some of it, but it's
Yeah.
mostly air pressure,
Okay.
painting style, because that metallic
Yeah.
literally is all these metallic flakes.
Yeah.
And they go into, they're atomized, and they land on the surface, and they flip.
Yeah.
And what we try to do is control where they lock in.
Wow.
So that means that any patchwork you're gonna have to do,
Gotta find
it
a really
may-
good painter.
Yes.
well, it
Blender.
may not look exactly as the original.
Just have to repaint the whole boat.
Now
Which-
that's another way to look at it. If you're gonna scratch the boat, scratch the whole side.
Yeah, I got it.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna really screw it up.
Yeah.
Really screw it up.
So stay tuned, folks. We did talk to some people at the show about insurance for our catamaran and yacht registration or flagging, but we will save that for upcoming episodes once we find out more details. These topics do warrant more discussion as they turned out to be more complex than anticipated. Thanks for watching.